Good afternoon, and welcome to this League of American Orchestras orientation for our 81st National Conference in Baltimore, Maryland, June 1st to the 3rd. My name is David Stiers. I'm the Director of Learning and Leadership Programs at the League, and this is our second year of offering this online orientation for our national conference coming up in about 2.5 weeks. And so we are excited to have you with us today to learn more about the conference experience for those of you who are registered. And for those of you maybe not registered, hopefully this will convince you that you do not want to miss this conference in Baltimore. And we definitely would look forward to seeing all of you there. First, I just want to get a sense of who's with us today. So I'm just going to put up some quick poll questions and ask that you complete this poll to give us a sense of what your role is in the orchestra, how many years you've been in the orchestra field, how many conferences you've attended, and we'll see what this group of people on today's call represent. So if you could please just take a couple of seconds and complete our poll. I will say that this is going to be my 19th or 20th national conference. I'd have to go back and count. My very first one was in 1992 in Washington, D.C., which was the League's 50th anniversary national conference. And I worked at the League from 1992 to 1999, was gone for 20 years and came back as a boomerang employee and have been back at the League since 2020. So I attended every national conference as a staff member from 93 to 99. And then I came back to League conferences about every 3 or 4 years for 2 decades. And then I've been back coming to the conference every year, including our 2 online conferences in 2020 and 2021. So again, we'll give you about another second to complete this poll. And thank you for letting us know who's on the call today. So I'll give you about 10 more seconds, and then we're going to close the poll, and we'll see who's with us today. And then in a few slides, I'll show you what the general makeup of the conference is in terms of attendees, and we'll see how it compares to our poll. So in 3, 2, 1, I'll end the poll, and I'll share the results. So you'll see that we have about 6% executive directors, 61% staff, 8% musicians, 6% board members, 6% of our business partners, 3% composers, 6% students, about 14% other, and about 3% is one respondent. And then how many years in the orchestra field? Oh, great. We have a sort of between 1 and 14, about a good spread of equal number of people in each of those, with some new people and someone who's been around like I have for many, many years. And then how many conferences you've attended? Oh, good. So we have a lot of new timers with us. And so again, very excited to have you. And then we have one person who, like me, has been around for a long time as well. So we're thrilled to have some of you attending the conference for the first time. And I will say that we have about a third of our delegates. So when we have around 1,000 delegates, we have over 300 who attend for the first time each year. So you are in good company. And during the conference, on the first day at 12:30 on that Monday, June the 1st, we'll have a first timers gathering. So particularly for people who may not know someone else at the conference yet, we will help you get to know people in the immediate. So thank you so much for taking our poll and letting us know who's with us today. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a dear colleague, because there's 2 things that make a great conference. One is a great host orchestra, and we definitely have that this year with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, and a great liaison from the host orchestra, and we definitely have had that with Jennifer Barton, the Senior Vice President and Chief Revenue Strategy Officer for the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. some of you who may have been around for a while may remember that we had our last conference on the East Coast, actually, in Baltimore 10 years ago in 2016. And so we are thrilled to be returning to Baltimore. And I'm excited to have Jennifer join us to share a little bit about the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, their plans for hosting the conference, as well as tell you a little bit about the wonderful city of Baltimore. So I'll turn it over to you, Jennifer. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, everyone. We are so looking forward to welcoming you to Baltimore. I am Jennifer Barton. Actually also a boomerang of the Baltimore Symphony. And I know that there are a lot of people in this field whose paths have crossed through this organization. So we will let you discover all of the history when you were actually in town. But there are a few things that you should know about us that are really current and important. First of all, we are housed in the Joseph Meyerhoff Symphony Hall. It's one of two of our full-time homes, the other being at Strathmore Music Center down in North Bethesda. But the Meyerhoff is located about a mile and a half north of the Marriott Hotel, and it's located in a neighborhood called Mount Vernon. It's historic. It is probably the most European corner of Baltimore, if one exists. And we are really excited to not only have you in our hall, but also to see music director Jonathan Hayward, who is fairly new in the orchestra scene. He was just named the music director of the BSO in July of 2022. And so he's had a few years of getting to know the Baltimore community, and he has had a really exciting impact here, connecting with the community, connecting with the orchestra. And he is going to be the leader of the concert that we're going to be hosting on June 2nd here at the Meyerhoff with the Baltimore Symphony and also some really special guests. So this program is called Aspects of America. It features the American melting pot of people and cultures and the music that has flown from all of that. Our program has a little bit of jazz. We have some Broadway, popular songs, and symphonies, and of course, a fanfare. And you'll hear that in Valerie Coleman's Umoja. We have Adolphus Hailstork's fanfare on Amazing Grace. Also, fresh in this call, we have the Billy Child's world premiere called A More Perfect Union, which was written for the Baltimore Symphony and the McGill brothers, who will be performing. And that movement title, the movement titles of this piece borrow from Langston Hughes, putting Black artistic creation at the structural center of our evening. So we're really excited to welcome you to all of this. And then, if that wasn't enough, we have Cecile McLaurin-Salvant, who's going to be singing selections from Billie Holiday to Paul Simon, also reflecting the American Songbook and its important impact on our culture and our music history. We will wrap up with the Copland's Third Symphony, a movement from that. And overall, it's going to be a great night. It's also going to be followed by our tune-up party, which we're very excited to host as a continued reflection of what's important to Baltimore. We have a James Beard Award nominee, Ekiben, which is going to be hosting with lots of yummy food. We also have, we're a very close friend of the symphony, who is a hot dog vendor, who shows up at our events. We will have visits from the Baltimore Huns. You'll be able to try a lemon stick, which is this really kind of fun treat that's uniquely Baltimore. You cut a lemon in half and then you put a peppermint stick into it, and then you have to suck the lemon juice through the peppermint stick. And we actually just had it at our big festival that always features this treat amongst other things. And we'll be also featuring a band that's made up of a couple of our Orchids educational program instructors who have just a great presence in the community. So we're really excited to welcome you and celebrate during the tune-up party here at the Meyerhoff. When it comes to Baltimore, I'm very familiar with the Marriott because I live right across the street. So I look forward to welcoming you into my neighborhood. And pro tip, there is a Whole Foods that's just a couple blocks away that is so easy to grab a bite during the day, just get a little bit of a rest. And all of this is connected through what I would consider to be the heart of downtown, and that is our inner harbor. We have the hotel is situated right on this harbor walk that exists. It's several miles in either direction of the hotel, and if you follow it, you'll come across, the big tourist attractions like our aquarium, our waterfront inner harbor area, which is actually about to undergo a very major renovation and construction project, and also our science center and some older historic boats like the Constellation. And then if you go in the other direction, you'll find the more residential. There's also been an uprising of commercial buildings. Baltimore has been really, really built up since the last time the conference was here. And so you'll be seeing Harbor Point, which is a brand new development with a beautiful park right on the water. That's a great place to go and hang out. There are lots of benches and also some wild plants and things to enjoy there. And then if you keep following the Harbor Walk, you end up in the historical heart of Baltimore, and you could even say the early United States. It is Fells Point, which is home to, I think, the oldest continuously operating bar in the United States, and actually the one where Edgar Allan Poe was last seen alive. The horse you rode in on, I think is the name of it. Anyway, there are cobblestones. There are a bunch of houses that date back to, 1600s, 1700s. It's a really cool place to walk around and also grab a bite to eat or just watch what's happening on the water. It's a really bustling place. And that is the party corner of the city. Also, within walking distance is Little Italy. I do recommend that you check out one of those restaurants. They're delightful, both in their hospitality and their food. I'm personally a big fan of Benny's. Their motto is best balls on the block. They really do have fantastic meatballs and focaccia. And their owner is just famous in the city for being a personality. So definitely take a walk around these different places. There are also plenty of parks around the city. If you hop on the water taxi, which is going to have a place right out back of the hotel, you can easily get to Fort McHenry. You can also go across the water or across the harbor to Federal Hill, where there's a famous view of the city that's actually the one that's shown on this screen right now. That's standing at the top of Fed Hill. So definitely recommend taking a little hike up there. Fort McHenry is, of course, the site of, okay, now I'm going to whiff on American history, but it's the site of a battle that inspired the writing of the Star Spangled Banner. And then finally, up near the Meyerhof, we have Mount Vernon. The square is really beautiful, lots of trees, also the home of Peabody Conservatory. Finally, we are the home of the Baltimore Orioles, and our hotel is within walking distance of those games. They are a ton of fun, and Camden Yards is, I'm biased, but the best ballpark in the United States. And if you get in early on Sunday, there is a game at 12:15. So if you have a chance to check out Camden Yards, I highly recommend it. And the nice thing about Baltimore is that it is beautiful in June, so you'll have lots of opportunities to get out and enjoy being on the water and in our beautiful state. So we can't wait to welcome you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And as someone who lived for 20 years in Washington, D.C. and regularly came up to visit friends in Baltimore, it is a fabulous city and lots of things to do. So you may find days before or days after the conference or potential vacation opportunities to enjoy all that Baltimore has to offer. And I will say that the hotel is the same hotel we used in 2016 and sits right here on the harbor as one of the most beautiful locations of any hotel that we ever have the conference in. So we are so excited to be back in Baltimore, and I've already made my reservations at Benny's. So I have taken Jennifer's pro tip on that one as well. So
That's
again,
awesome,
thank
David.
you,
And I forgot to say one more thing.
please.
Yeah, the other thing that you will be receiving is if you purchase tickets with the BSOs or with us for the concert, you'll also be receiving information about a special app experience that we have set up for League members to experience what we've built out with our partners Easy Connect. So we're really excited to show you the concert and concierge service that we're providing through that tool. And we will be curating something for all of you. So make sure that you download the BSO app to help through your whole concert experience with us.
Great. Well, again, thank you, Jennifer, for everything you have done personally over the past year in planning for the conference. Jennifer and I and League staff have been meeting literally weekly every Monday for months and months and months now to make sure that the conference experience is as productive and as special for you as possible. So we look forward to seeing you in Baltimore, and Jennifer and her colleagues welcome you to their beautiful city.
Thanks. See you soon.
So, again, we have a great host orchestra, we have a great city. Let me give you an overview about the conference itself, particularly for those who this is your first or one of your first conferences. So, um, we tend to have this distribution of people, which is not completely off of what the distribution was on who's on this call. So, about 85% of our delegates are coming from orchestras. And of those, about two-thirds are from the administrative staff side, about 50% staff and about 16% executive directors. And then about 5% are conductors and musicians, about 15% are board members and volunteers. And then we have many, many wonderful business partners. About 10% of our delegates are coming from different companies, acousticians, artist managers, publishers, vendors that provide information and resources and products to help orchestras do their business better, and particularly in recent years, technology companies. And we have a very robust exhibit hall where these business partners are there to greet you and educate you about the different offerings that they have to help meet your needs. And then we have about 5% other composers, students, and people just interested in our orchestra field. And so, again, we look forward to seeing the whole plethora of different individuals, both from orchestras, but also from those that are tangential to orchestras and make up our broader orchestra family. Then every conference has particular goals, and I would love for you to maybe put into the chat any particular goals that you have for the conference. Um, the the conference, again, this will be our 81st. Many people come year after year and again have come for decades even. If you have a particular goal of something you want to accomplish during the conference, feel free to put that into the chat. But just some goals for you to be thinking about as you're preparing to come to Baltimore is first, you know, as I just showed you, you'll get to meet people from your individual constituency, different affinity groups, all geographies of the United States, and people from Canada. We have new partnerships with Latin American orchestras and orchestras around the world. I think I can say that this is probably the largest gathering of orchestra um, professionals in the world. And so we have international orchestras who want to come to find out what is happening in our orchestras. And it's of all budget sizes. So from the largest orchestras to youth orchestras, community orchestras, regional orchestras, and everything in between. You'll get to share and discuss effective business practices and build healthy cultures and learn from one another and find out what you're doing that's similar to others that you can say, oh, well, we're on the right track, or you can get great new ideas of what people are trying in their community that may be a new best practice for your organization. Again, it's a great leadership development opportunity. You'll see, nearly 50% of our delegates are from staff members of orchestras. So this is a opportunity for them to learn from their peers and to learn from the different expert speakers that we have. Finally, it's an opportunity to think about the sustainable future of orchestras. Where do we want to go moving forward? And again, we've had 80 conferences where we continue to talk about what is the future of orchestras and how do we continue growing this art form and the vitality of orchestras in their communities. As Jennifer just talked about their wonderful concert, and we'll talk about two other regional orchestra concerts that are coming, so you can come and hear great music. Again, visit those business partners in our exhibit area to discuss any needs that you have. And then a final goal is to participate respectfully and observe our participation guidelines. So again, lots of different goals that we hope that you'll have for the conference. And thank you for putting some goals in the chat. It's wonderful to see the idea of, again, meeting with artistic administrators and artist managers agencies. Yes, a lot of business happens at the conference. Networking is a big reason people come to the conference. Someone who hasn't been to a conference since 2010 when they were on the orchestra staff, so an opportunity to see how we have changed a lot in the past 15 years, and particularly now post-COVID. Again, a lot of meeting new people, hearing great music, making those connections, and again, that sharing and exchange of ideas. It's one of the reasons we've been particular of wanting to make our conference an in-person event. Certainly during COVID, we had to go online and provide some hybrid opportunities to learn, but we really have felt like the value of the conference is the face-to-face. And so we have continued now for the past several years to really be intentional of providing the best in-person experience for everyone. And again, I love the comment from Claire about, again, the face-to-face and reconnecting. And the conference has a lot of content and things that you'll have to pick and choose from. You won't be able to do it all because we have some things that are happening simultaneously, but we are doing recordings and videos of sessions that we will post on our website. So even if you miss seeing it live, you'll get the opportunity to actually see it later online. Or if you see a fabulous event live and want to see it again online, that will happen as well. But the conference experience itself is an in-person experience for everyone coming. So again, thank you for all those goals, and also, again, be thinking about all the different ways that you want to connect and engage with people throughout the 3 days of the conference. As we mentioned, as you can see, this beautiful location of our hotel. It is the same, again, hotel we used in 2016. The property is 25 years old, but during the COVID shutdown, they did a gut renovation. So the inside of the hotel looks brand new, and it is beautiful. And again, this incredible location on the harbor. Again, you can see the National Aquarium just a short walk away. And so we look forward to having you at the hotel. This conference has been one of our most popular, and we have sold out the hotel. And so on our website are some overflow hotels. If you're still looking for a hotel room, there's others in the area. And so the first thing you'll want to do, though, when you arrive, besides checking into your hotel, is look for our registration hours and come to the fourth floor. And the back of the Harborside Ballroom C, D, and E, you'll find our registration area. And so you'll get your registration all taken care of. Other things we offer in the hotel is a quiet room, which will be on the third floor in the Bristol room for anyone who just needs to escape for a few moments, the hustle and bustle of the conference and 1,000 people connecting. And then finally, we also have a mother's room for anyone who needs that. And our registration area will have a key to that room. So just come visit our member services. So again, look forward to welcoming you at our beautiful property. And again, all our meetings are in the hotel except for the 3 concerts over at the Meyerhoff and then our opening session at the Meyerhoff as well. And I'll talk about those in just a moment. Again, when you get your registration, you'll print out your badge, and we have various ribbons that you can decorate your registration, whether you're a first timer, an alum, a donor, different affinity groups. So feel free to decorate your badge with as many ribbons as you would like. Also, pick up your program book in the delegate bag, where we'll have materials from many of our vendors, and you'll have a hard copy that will give sort of a summary of what's happening during the conference each day. And then on your name badge will be a QR code that our volunteers will scan as you enter sessions, just to give us a sense of attendance at different sessions, which topics were more popular than others, help a little bit with crowd control as well. And so do wear your badge at all times so that those can be scanned and people can know who you are during the conference as well. As I mentioned, our business partners are a major part of our conference, and we will have an enormous exhibit area on our fourth floor. It has been growing dramatically over the past several years. We now have over 80 exhibitors coming to the conference wanting to meet with you. We'll have an all-delegate reception on Monday afternoon in the exhibit area, as well as mid-morning networking breaks on Tuesday and Wednesday for you to have the opportunity to get to know some of the exhibitors. And in the program book, there'll be a full directory of all the different exhibitors, as well as you can find that online. And so feel free to make appointments and schedule time with exhibitors in advance. And we also have what is called the Communications Crossroads, which is just a set of empty tables for you to bring whatever you would like to share with other people, and then you can take from other people. So it may be season brochures, it may be postcards, special programs, any print materials or items that you want to share and highlight what your orchestra or organization are doing. Feel free to bring it to our communication crossroads. And then anything that's not picked up by the end of the conference, we do recycle, but a lot of people do come and bring their materials and then come to pick up materials to get great ideas from other people. So it's just another opportunity to exchange with one another. So who's attending the conference this year? We now have 973 registrants as of about an hour ago, and probably one or two have come in maybe since then, because every single day we're getting several registrations in. The early bird deadline was a few weeks ago, which we got the bulk of our registrations in, but we are running ahead of where we normally are. So we are very excited about the response for people coming to this conference. I think partly because we haven't been on the East Coast in 10 years. Baltimore is such an attractive city. It's easy to get to by Amtrak train, by flights to BWI Airport, and particularly on Southwest. Easy car trip for a lot of people in the Mid-Atlantic Northeast area. So looking forward to seeing lots of people. On our website, we have a listing of who's coming to conference. So we are downloading and printing and providing a document with the list of current registrants. But you can also find people on our app. So if you've registered the conference, I hope you'll download our app so you can start taking advantage of all the functionality that it has to offer. Next week, we'll provide sort of a tutorial on the app. But again, it's an opportunity for you to see who's coming to conference, start direct messaging people through the app. You can build your own schedule. You can start getting alerts. And so we are very excited to use our conference app as an opportunity to, again, give you full details that expand what's in the program book and what's on our website. LeagueConference.org has been our main website since we launched the conference registrations back in the winter. But the app is where, room names and, again, attendees and everything will be posted. So the app will be the place that it will show the main activities happening for the conference. The other thing that'll be happening is a lot of social media. And so please take pictures. Please do selfies with friends. do selfies with new friends and tag them, hashtag Orc 2026 or at Orc League. And we would look forward to seeing what you post on your social media. Please follow our social media. We'll be posting pictures and things in real time happening during the conference. And so, again, looking forward to engaging with all of you that way as well. And I know Jennifer shared at the tune-up party, there'll be fun ways to engage with social media there as well. Then, as part of health and wellness, we've tried to start a running and walking group. And so this is the picture from the group in Salt Lake City last June. And so on Tuesday, June the 1st at 7 a.m., we'll have a running group and a walking group leaving from the main entrance of the hotel for about a 3 to 5 mile walk or run around the along the inner harbor. As Jennifer says, it's such a beautiful location. And so feel free to explore on your own or join us at 7 a.m. on that Tuesday morning. And the gentleman who took the selfie here on the far left, Kane Thompson-Reedus, our Vice President of Inclusion and Learning, will be leading the group again this coming year. And then here is, again, just the schedule at a glance. You can find on our website. And again, the full schedule is there. But again, we have things beginning on Sunday, May the 31st, through Monday morning. And I'll go through several of those pre-conference activities. And then, as I mentioned, that first-timer gathering will be 12:30 on Monday, June the 1st. And then the conference officially begins at 1 o'clock with constituency meetings and then runs through our closing luncheon and annual meeting on Wednesday, June 3rd, which will end around 2:30 p.m. And this closing luncheon is included in your conference registration. So please do join us for lunch that day. So to talk through some of the particular details, again, on your Sunday evening, we're thrilled that we have 3 orchestra concerts at this conference this year. So the Baltimore Chamber Orchestra will be making their Meyerhoff Hall debut on that Sunday evening. Longtime chamber ensemble in the Baltimore area, led by music director Robert Moody. And the concert is featuring some sort of local Baltimore composers and Katrina Ingram and also featuring a cello concerto by Mason Bates, as well as Beethoven's Seventh Symphony, and also another Baltimore native, Frank Zappa. So feel free to come early and come to that Sunday evening concert and purchase tickets to the Baltimore Chamber Orchestra. Then on Monday evening, the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra, the capital of Maryland, is not far away over by the shore. And so the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra will be making their Meyerhoff debut in Baltimore on that Monday night with a program featuring some of their side-by-side work with their youth ensembles and ending the evening with Shostakovich 5. So you can get tickets for that concert to the Annapolis Symphony Orchestra. And then, as Jennifer said, then on Tuesday night is the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra concert, followed by the tune-up party. And we are no longer selling tickets through registration, but if you still need tickets for that concert, just go directly to the Baltimore Symphony box office, and they can provide you those tickets. And again, you'll see there is the Meyerhoff. The concerts on Sunday and Monday night, we will not have transportation from the hotel, but on Tuesday night for the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra concert and also for the tune-up party, we will be running buses from the hotel to the Meyerhoff for both before and after the concert and before and after the tune-up party. You don't have to have a concert ticket to go to the tune-up party, just have your conference name badge. So everyone registered for the conference is invited to come to the tune-up party following the concert. But we hope you'll come to the concert as well. So in terms of the thematic direction of the conference this year, we try to cover a lot of different things every year. During the pre-conference activities I mentioned, we'll have 3 different pre-conference seminars, 2 on Sunday afternoon, 1 on fundraising, and 1 on organizational culture and innovation. And then on Monday morning, we'll have 1 on orchestra board governance and be launching the 2nd edition of our effective orchestra governance guide. And so those will be happening pre-conference. For those who are part of our Inclusive Stages Coalition, you have meetings on Sunday all day. Pre-conference is often the time that the education community engagement constituency has a pre-conference day, and this year they're doing that in conjunction with the Youth Orchestra Division, and that joint meeting will be Sunday afternoon. I mentioned the Baltimore Chamber Orchestra concert that evening. And then on Monday morning, we'll have a tech fair that's become almost an annual event now for our conference for several years, where many of the technology companies will be demonstrating their products and doing presentations, and that is free for any registrants of the conference to come to. And then we also have a open rehearsal for the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra at the Meyerhoff for artistic personnel and conductors, composers, musicians. That Monday morning there'll be a meeting of volunteers, and then there'll be our Alana gathering. I'll talk more about affinity groups in a few moments. And then we'll have two general sessions during the conference to open and close. And the opening will be at the Meyerhoff Hall on Monday late afternoon, and we'll be providing busing to and from the Meyerhoff for the opening. And we're thrilled to be giving our highest honor, our Gold Baton Award, to the Sphinx organization for their 30 years of promoting and building diversity of musician talent in the country. We'll have special performances by the Baltimore Youth Symphony Orchestra and Orc Kids. And then our keynote address will be by Deborah Rudder. Many of you may know as a longtime executive in the orchestra field at the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra, the Seattle Symphony, and the Chicago Symphony, most recently President CEO of the Kennedy Center, and then in the past year has joined Duke University as their Associate Provost for Arts and Culture. And so we're very excited to welcome Deborah Rudder to our opening session. And then our closing session, which will include our annual meeting and lunch, again, part of your registration, will be giving a second Gold Baton Award this year to David Hislop, who's been a longtime executive in the orchestra field, running orchestras in Oregon, St. Louis, and Minnesota, and most recently has done a yeoman's job as an interim executive director of many, many orchestras over the past several years, and really helping stabilize organizations during that executive transition. And then we'll be finally ending with a wonderful performance conversation by Laura Downs and Arturo O'Farrell. Many of you may know the pianist Laura Downs. She performed in a pre-conference concert in Salt Lake City last year. We're so excited to welcome her to our closing. You may have heard her as an NPR host. Regularly, I tune into Morning Edition and listen to her features where she's doing her declaration project of going around and listening to people about what makes American music American. And Arturo O'Farrell has written a new piano concerto for her that will be debuted at Lincoln Center and the American Composers Orchestra in July. And you'll get to hear a preview at our closing session. So please join us again for that closing with Laura and Arturo. Then the different open sessions for the conference has a variety of focus areas, and these this year have come from the member survey that we did last fall. So many of you may remember filling out a member survey where we asked feedback from the orchestra field about what topics were most important, what ideas you had for the future direction of the league and our development of a new strategic framework. And so these 7 topics came up as sort of top areas of interest, many of them not surprising, but it sort of just reaffirmed the content that we wanted to make sure that we provided for the conference. So when you look at the 19 different sessions during the conference, you'll see lots of content around, again, audience growth and diversification, engaging local communities, certainly development fundraising, leadership and strategy, financial strategy, education programs, youth engagement, and finally advocacy and communicating value. So we have a variety of different speakers coming to address these different topics. And again, you can go to our website to see the full schedule. you'll find there's 4 different types of sessions that are our open sessions that anyone can attend. And so we have our insight sessions that are often particular topics with 2 or 3 speakers from different perspectives and also different organizations. We have our critical conversations that are a way to bring a topic to light and get engagement from the individuals in the room about their perspectives on different things that we need to be discussing in the orchestra field. We have a couple of workshops where sort of hands-on skills development activities. And then we have our business perspectives that many of our wonderful exhibitors have put together on different topics of interest in the orchestra field. So again, check out all these open sessions. There's about 4 to 5 for each time block. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to talk to League staff about which one might be of most interest to you. And then the other big part of conference are constituency meetings. We have 22 different constituency groups. And so each day there's about an hour and a half to 2 hours of time devoted for these constituency meetings, and agendas have been prepared in advance by different leadership committees with their staff liaisons. These meetings are open only to those people who hold that particular role at a member orchestra. And you can find all the current agendas in our constituency meetings tab on the website. And so this is an opportunity to meet with your peer and have roundtable discussions and presentations that are particularly focused on the role that you have within your orchestra, both on the administrative side, and then we have constituency meetings for conductors, for composers, for musicians, for students. And so we look forward to engaging in lots of different conversations, and often you'll find that your constituency is having a joint constituency meeting with another group that has a topic that is of equal interest. And so we try to bring different constituencies together as well. But those, again, will be on Monday afternoon to start the conference, and a room with your peers to get to know people in a small group. And then they'll continue on Tuesday afternoon and then Wednesday morning. And then we have 2 new forums this year. So we have a new board member orchestra forum, which is sort of an expanded constituency meeting for orchestra board members to give them a new track. Again, we're launching our new publication this year and have some special activities particularly geared to orchestra board members during the course of the conference. And also this year is one of those joint meetings. We're bringing together artistic administrators and artist managers in a special forum to talk about how they can synergize their work and be of more assistance to one another in understanding how each have the ultimate goal of advancing our art forms. So we look forward to those 2 particular new forums this year. Then finally, I mentioned the affinity groups. So we have 3 major affinity group gatherings through the conference. On Monday morning, we have our LANA group for African, Latinx, Asian, Arab, Middle Eastern, or Native American descent individuals within the orchestra field. Monday afternoon, there'll be a League Alumni Network reception for those individuals who have gone through the League's leadership development programs. And then finally, Monday evening, we'll have our LGBTQIA plus reception at the hotel as well, following the opening session. And so if you have any questions about any of the affinity groups or want to make sure that you're signed up for the right affinity group, feel free to reach out to us here at the League. And then finally, a major part of the League is, and bringing the field together, is the League Giving Days. This is our largest fundraising event of the year, where we look forward to giving you the opportunity to show your appreciation to the League and your support of the advancement of our field through making a charitable donation. This year, our theme is "You Care About the Future of Orchestras, So Do We." We have a variety of different gifts that we have at different giving levels for people who come to our donor lounge, which will be on the fourth floor outside the exhibit hall. And so please feel free to stop by, and we would look forward to welcome you and thank all of you who've already been donors to the League, and look forward to another very successful League Giving Days this year. So in 45 minutes, that's all the information I wanted to try to make sure we got covered. And now I would love to answer any questions that anyone may have. And so I see there was a question about the attendee list. Um, and so we are not updating it online daily. And so I think, again, the last time we updated it and loaded it to our website was a couple of weeks ago. And so once you download the app, that's where the most recent list will be. And then we'll continue to update it online. But the app will be where you can see the most recent attendee list. So and if you're particularly looking for someone, just let us know. But the app will be the main way that you can track who's serving on coming to the conference. And a good question about the orchestra board forms. Yes, they are for all size orchestras. And again, it's for the board members of any of these orchestras. So during the orchestra board members will have two meetings all together at the beginning on Monday afternoon with a special session with Robert Moody talking about demystifying the podium, and then on Wednesday morning, conversation with Ann Meyer Baker, most recent head of music and opera at the National Endowment for the Arts. But then on the Tuesday afternoon, the orchestra board member forum will break into roundtables based on budget sizes. So, but yes, all board members are invited to come to those board forum meetings. A question, does the hotel have a parking garage? Yes and no. The hotel itself does not have a parking garage, but directly next door to the hotel is a public parking garage. So yes, it is very easy to drive and park at the hotel and the parking garage right next to the hotel. Any other questions that people have that they want to either put in the chat or in the Q&A? Again, we have wanted to provide as much information in advance of your coming to the conference as possible. And so that's why we started this online orientation a year ago, and we were very pleased to continue it this year. This recording and information will be shared at leagueconference.org. And so if you have colleagues who were not able to join today, feel free to share this with them. Or again, if you want to go back and listen to any of this information, please feel free to do so. Or if you have any questions, again, leagueconference.org has all the information about the conference, but you are welcome to reach out to me directly, and I would be happy to respond. And so I'll put my email in the chat, dstyers, D-S-T-Y-E-R-S, at americanorchestras.org. Great question about tips of getting from the airport to the conference hotel. So Baltimore Washington International Airport, named Thurgood Marshall, is located in between Baltimore and Washington, D.C., but it's closer to Baltimore. And the easiest way would be just to take a cab, an Uber, or Lyft. However, there is a shuttle from the airport to a train station. And at the train station, you can take, it's called the MARC, M-A-R-K, and the MARC train will take you into Baltimore. It won't take you probably within walking distance of the hotel, but it would take you into Baltimore, and then you could take a cab or a Lyft or an Uber from the train station to the hotel. One thing I will say that in large cities like New York City, I can get a Lyft or an Uber practically instantaneously. Baltimore has plenty of Lyft and Ubers, but you may have to wait a few moments before one is available to come get you. I would also say that particularly as you're leaving the hotel, if you're planning to take a Lyft or an Uber to the train station or to BWI, I would schedule that in advance just so that you have plenty of time and not be worried about trying to get a Lyft or an Uber at the last moment. Go ahead and pre-schedule that, and so you know that that will show up at the hotel at the time you need it to leave to either go to the train station or to the airport. Any other questions that anyone may have today? And again, we are busily over the next 2.5 weeks getting all the final I's dotted, T crossed, boxes packed, shipping off to Baltimore, but definitely looking forward to seeing all of you in just a few weeks. And again, we have had a growing number of student um, attendees at the conference. So I particularly encourage you, as you see young people, to talk to them about your careers in orchestras and what their aspirations are. And we've had a designated number of slots free for students up through the early bird registration, but we still have a very discounted rate if there are any other students you know that are still wanting to come to the conference. So yeah, we'll have a large number of students who we provide free registration for, but they can still certainly register for the conference as well. And if you see me at the conference, don't hesitate to say hello, or if you have any questions at the conference, feel free to ask me or any of the 30 league staff members and our many volunteers from the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra who will be helping work the conference as well. Well, if we have no other questions, I wish everyone a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon. And again, hopefully very easy travel to Baltimore in just a few weeks. And we are very excited having another wonderful conference together with everyone, celebrating our 81st time to being together. And again, 10 years since we were last together in Baltimore. So thank you so much for joining us today. Again, let us know if you have any questions, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.